Hi, boys and girls. I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking with you about your interactive science notebook. I know most of you used interactive science notebooks last year, but Coach Colwell and I want to use them more often and more effectively in 7th grade this year. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how we see that happening. First of all, your interactive science notebook is the foundation for everything you're going to learn in this class. And we feel as though it is a really great tool to help you stay organized. So take a minute and see if this describes you. Are your notes in 3 different places? Maybe it's in your notebook, and then another one's in a binder, and then another one's in a folder, and then another one's in one of those accordion things because you thought for a week that that might keep you organized. You're one of those kids who can't find their homework, you worked really hard on it, and then you're not sure what happened to it between the kitchen table and class the next day. Or maybe you're one of the stuffers, one of those people that has random papers stuffed at the bottom of your backpack. If any of those things apply to you, then you are definitely going to be those people that benefit from the interactive science notebook. So the interactive science notebook is a great way to keep all of your work together. Everything's organized with page numbers, unit titles, and up-to-date table of contents. It's a built-in study guide, so anytime you need to go back to refer to anything throughout the course of the semester, it should all be right there, and you'll be able to find it easily because you have a table of contents. It's also a really effective communication tool. So if you are missing anything in your interactive notebook, I'm able to communicate that with you, that this is where you need to have the work in the right place, and also for you to communicate with us whether or not you're understanding the concepts. Going back to the study guide, remember that tests in 7th grade are cumulative. So you will have a midterm exam that is cumulative from August to December, and a final exam that is cumulative from January to June. So you are going to want to keep track of all that information and not just rely on the review guide that we give you for that test, which obviously you'll have. So your interactive science notebook will become a portfolio of everything you've learned over the course of the year. And again, exams are cumulative in 7th grade, which is something you're really going to have to get used to because you're not in 6th grade anymore. So what should your interactive science notebook look like? So what you see there on the screen is an example of an interactive science notebook. And again, I know most of you used interactive science notebooks last year, but we're going to be a lot more strict about how those interactive science notebooks look this year. And this is how we're going to do that. There's going to be 2 sides to your interactive science notebook. Now obviously when you open a notebook, there's always 2 sides, but now we're going to make sure that only certain things go on the left and certain things go on the right. So on the right is what we call input. That is everything that I give to you. That can include notes, reading passages, labs, reviews for tests, but that's everything that I give to you. That is the input. On the left is your output, anything that you do. It can be illustrations, graphic organizers, diagrams, foldables, or reflections. And we're going to spend some time doing reflections on labs, homework, activities that we do in class, etc. That is all going to be on the left side. So one of the things that you need to keep in mind is that the interactive science notebook is going to be a level 2 grade every 6 weeks. So you have an opportunity, if you are able to follow directions, because we are going to be making a interactive science notebook along with you. If you are able to follow directions and put things where they need to be, keep your table of contents up to date, you will get 100 for a level 2 grade every 6 weeks, which is fantastic. If you don't keep track of your things, that's going to hurt you in a couple of ways. Number one, you're not going to get 100 on that interactive science notebook grade, and you probably won't do as well in the class in general because you're not keeping track of your work. So this is going to affect you twofold. So the interactive science notebook is a way for us to know whether you understand the content, and it's your opportunity to show us what you know. If everybody in the class is understanding the concept quickly, we can move on. We don't need to keep going over it. If you get it, fantastic, we'll just move on. So it keeps your work organized and all in one place, and it allows us to see individual students' understanding. So better understanding, better grades. Basically, be good to your interactive notebook and it will be good to you. So be sure that you use mine and Coach Caldwell's example. Don't fall behind. If you do, we will be giving you feedback every week. And here's to an awesome, organized year.